Hey everyone, Geophysicist Stefan Burns here. We have another eruption imminent at Kilauea Volcano on the big island of Hawaii. This will be its 44th eruptive episode since December of 2024. And things are changing for Kilauea. The eruption cycles have been lengthening. The eruptions have been getting bigger. And well, we now see this overflow event occurring for Kilauea, and this is not the most recent one. This one is from about 12 hours ago. Here we can see the most recent one right here. We're getting these surges of magma and then lava up to the surface for then it to recharge, which means we're just 2 or 3 days away, maybe not even that. We just had a significant earthquake strike near Kilauea, but before that, remember, we are right now in a global seismic burst. We see that with our global seismic activity level. It was low to moderate for most of February, 1 mag 7 right there in the middle of February, a little bit of a quiet period again, boom, boom, boom. These three earthquakes, 7.5, 7.3, 7.4, occurring in Tonga, Vanuatu, Indonesia, all in the Western Pacific, on the Pacific plate boundary. All that energy does sweep across to the east and hit through Hawaii. Those are pressure undulations to the entire hotspot system. And now we see this new earthquake that just came in, a magnitude 3.9 here, right next to Kilauea. So this is just 2.4 kilometers below the surface, which is basically not at all. And if we highlight that here, we will see that it's right here just to the southwest of Kilauea, because we have Kilauea Volcano up here. This is Kilauea. We see it smoking. Here are the vents and everything. Of course, we see some tiny little earthquakes within the caldera. We get this scattering of earthquakes all over, right? This is much bigger system than just Kilauea, but this 3.9 there occurring right as this first significant new period of overflowing begins. And this is a big earthquake. So I think this is showing a bit of movement through the lava tubes underneath the surface, because they are riddled throughout the island. Talk to any local, go climb in them yourself. They are the piping for all this magma deeper from the surface. And so it looks like we are having some magma feed this way to Kilauea, and that is indicating maybe a larger pulse movement of magma as a result, because we see our tilt data. Here it's the past 2 days, here is the past week. We see that earthquake show up on the inflation tilt measure for Kilauea. Here is that overflow. You lose a little bit of inflation as a result of this magma overflowing, settling out at the surface. So that struck exactly right at the bottom of that overflow event we still have going on. In fact, you see the new one starting right there. You see that we really haven't had much activity. It's just been steady inflation for the past week or so for Kilauea up until the past few hours. And if we go here to the past 3 months, we see how overall inflation has been trending down because these events have been getting bigger and bigger. Look at the change suddenly here. It's really significant versus there where we started to get this jagged pattern of inflation, then some magma overflow, and then while it resumes back up, big discharge event, episode 43. Now it's certainly different than it has been since we've really been tracking this going back to December of 2024. Here we see the entire time frame. He's kind of settled into a regular rhythm here. And well, look out now how different this is compared to all the others. Things really seem to be changing. That magnitude 3.9 being the latest evidence of that. And in general, so much seismicity happening on the western side of the Pacific plate is influencing the entire system. So lava overflows right now at Kilauea. I think we probably have about, let's say, 36 to 48 hours until it erupts. It could be up to 3 days. I mean, if it goes beyond that, I'd be really surprised, but perhaps we do enter into this period where it has larger overflow events and then the tilt rises for another 5 days, and then it's kind of doing this pattern like we saw before episode 43, and it really lengthens out. these are all the possibilities, but definitely this is a volcano to watch because, I mean, the last eruption sprayed tephra everywhere, completely changing the landscape of Volcanoes National Park. Before there was dirt, there were shrubs, everything. Some of these places now are just pumice, rock, tephra, Pele's hair, glass and shards and obsidian everywhere. So really big changes occurring at Hawaii, at the Big Island, at the national park there, because of the ongoing volcanic activity primarily centered with Kilauea, though of course there are bigger volcanoes there that eventually will erupt. So I will keep you up to date on all that. When this starts to go off, I will be live streaming it for you. Thank you all so much for watching. I've been your host, Stefan Burns. Please smash that thumbs up button to help the channel grow. See you around. I'll see you all in the next video.